Welcome back to The Survival Historian. Today we're uncovering one of history's most underestimated secrets, a formula so simple, so elegantly effective, that it protected Viking longships, guarded grand cathedrals, and outlasted countless empires. What if the secret to wood lasting centuries wasn't some modern innovation, but rather two natural ingredients working in perfect harmony? Welcome to the world of boiled linseed oil and turpentine. Empires rise, empires fall, but the oil endures. When Norse shipwrights built their longships around 900 AD, they faced a brutal challenge, keeping wooden vessels intact against saltwater and rot. They didn't have synthetic sealants. What they had was ancient knowledge, boiled linseed oil from flax plants and turpentine from pine resin. This mixture became their armor against decay. The genius lies in elegance. Turpentine acts as a solvent, allowing linseed oil to penetrate deep into the wood grain, sealing it from within. As it cures, the oil polymerizes, hardening inside the wood itself, creating a breathable barrier that repels moisture while allowing natural flexibility. This is fundamentally different from modern finishes that trap moisture beneath, leading to rot. Consider medieval cathedrals still standing today, their timber frames largely intact after 6 centuries. Builders of Chartres, Cologne and Westminster understood what modern construction has largely forgotten. Wood demands respectful treatment. They applied this simple mixture to roof beams and hidden timbers. Those timbers endured through wars, fires and climate changes. What's remarkable is this wasn't limited to one culture. From Indian teak vessels to Japanese temples to Portuguese caravels, cultures across continents independently discovered similar formulations. The principle remained constant, a natural oil thinned with a volatile solvent, penetrating and protecting wood against its ultimate enemy, moisture. Boiled linseed oil undergoes special processing. It's heated and treated with metallic compounds that accelerate drying. Raw linseed oil dries slowly. Boiled linseed oil undergoes oxidative polymerization, a chemical transformation where oil molecules cross-link and harden. Turpentine serves as the penetrating vehicle. Its smaller, more volatile molecules push deeper into wood's cellular structure than oil alone could reach. As turpentine evaporates, it leaves boiled linseed oil embedded within the grain. The oil then hardens slowly over days and weeks, creating a finish that possesses subtle flexibility, moving with the wood as temperature and humidity fluctuate. This breathability is paramount. Modern synthetic sealants often trap moisture, creating environments where fungal decay flourishes. Boiled linseed oil remains porous at the molecular level, allowing trapped moisture to gradually evaporate while blocking fresh water infiltration. Turpentine's volatile compounds naturally inhibit molds and fungi, the true enemies of wooden longevity. Historical craftsmen understood this intuitively. Modern analysis confirms what ancients knew through experience. Turpentine creates an environment hostile to decay-causing microorganisms. The application process itself is, honestly, remarkably accessible. Unlike modern polyurethane finishes that require really precise temperature ranges and specialized equipment, boiled linseed oil and turpentine can be applied by anyone, anywhere, using just a simple brush or cloth. A medieval woodworker, a Viking shipwright, or even a modern homesteader, all could achieve protection through the same fundamental technique. In the 21st century, boiled linseed oil and turpentine remain quietly effective. Outdoor furniture makers, for example, employ this finish because wood ages gracefully, developing a rich patina that synthetic finishes simply cannot replicate. Tool handle makers apply it for protection and, well, a pleasing tactile sensation. Historic preservationists use it to maintain original craftsmanship. And increasingly, eco-conscious homeowners are rediscovering these natural alternatives, rejecting harsh chemical treatments. The aesthetic advantages are, frankly, undeniable. Where polyurethane creates a plastic-like sheen, boiled linseed oil enhances the natural character. The grain becomes more pronounced, the color deepens and warms over time, and the finish ages with dignity. This really represents a philosophical approach to material stewardship. Wood isn't being covered up, but honored, allowed to express its essential nature while still receiving protection. Environmentally, the advantages are equally compelling. Boiled linseed oil, you see, requires minimal processing from flax, and turpentine is a byproduct of wood pulp processing. Neither of these contains volatile organic compounds that modern finishers release into the air, and neither one requires hazardous waste disposal. Neither poisons waterways if spilled, which is a real relief. For those seeking to align their choices with ecological awareness, this historic formula really does offer a direct path to action. The process is honestly quite straightforward. You simply combine equal parts boiled linseed oil and pure turpentine, a 50-50 mixture for the initial coat. Start by preparing your wood, making sure it's clean, dry and free of any old finishes. Lightly sand it to open up the grain and then wipe away all the dust with a tack cloth. Next, saturate a lint-free cloth with your mixture and work it generously into the wood, following the grain. Allow 15 to 30 minutes for absorption. Then wipe deliberately and completely, removing all excess oil. This step is crucial. Any oil left on the surface becomes tacky, which can really ruin the finish. Allow 48 hours for the first coat to dry fully in a well-ventilated space. Repeat the process. 2 or 3 coats will provide substantial protection. For subsequent coats, transition to pure boiled linseed oil, building a slightly thicker surface while still maintaining breathability. And between coats, lightly sand with fine grit paper. Allow 4 to 6 weeks for a full cure before heavy use. Maintenance is elegantly simple. Just 1 coat of pure boiled linseed oil annually, applied the same way, keeps the wood protected and refreshed. Critical warning: rags soaked in linseed oil pose a genuine fire hazard due to spontaneous combustion. Always lay them flat to dry completely outdoors, or immediately soak them in water before disposal. Respect this material as our predecessors did. Boiled linseed oil and turpentine didn't survive a millennium because people lacked alternatives. They persisted because they fundamentally address wood preservation better than most things that followed. They really embody an approach to survival and stewardship, honoring both material and time. When you apply this mixture, you participate in a lineage stretching to Viking shipwrights and medieval craftsmen, to Japanese temple builders and Portuguese explorers. You employ chemistry distilled through centuries of experience. In an age of planned obsolescence, this becomes a small act of rebellion, a declaration that, honestly, some things deserve better. History teaches that resilience emerges from elegant simplicity married with deep understanding. If you found value in this exploration of practical preservation like this video, share it with others who appreciate historical wisdom, and subscribe to The Survival Historian for more insights into how history informs endurance. Thank you for joining me. The Survival Historian.